Yo, what is up, everybody? It's your boy Joe, and I'm back with another video. Today it's gonna be a little bit different. I'm gonna be talking about my favorite archetype, which is the Sharpshooter. That's me, right in the middle. Yes, I play Park as well. I don't just play my team, but let me get into why I think the Sharpshooter has been one of the best archetypes all year long. And why is that? Well, basically, there's a lot of reasons to it, but one of the main reasons for me is like if my sharp is open, the ball is going in. Like there's no ifs, ands, or buts. If I'm wide, if I'm open, even just for like a little bit, it's probably going in. More than 90% of the time, it's probably going in. I'm not saying like I'm super good at this game, because I am not, but with a sharp it's very easy to score. Reason number 2, they can dribble pretty well. A lot of people claim that sharpshooters aren't like ISO players or they're not good dribblers or whatever. If you have the right move sets, it's very easy to dribble and get around your defenders. I find most of the time, like, I can dribble, get in the paint and dish it out, and then come right back outside, and I'll be open for a shot. Yeah, sharpshooters are kind of underrated when it comes to dribbling. I'm not saying they're a dribble god. I'm not saying they can take ankles. What I'm saying is they can use their moves to get around defenders and try to score off of that, which is pretty ridiculous considering they're supposed to be sharpshooters, not playmakers, not point guards, sharpshooters. But hey, that's 2K. And also, like you seen earlier, I got like a block or something. If you have, even if your player is like decently heighted or has decent height, I think my guy is like 5'6", 5'7", you'll have a chance to get blocks on taller defenders. You'll have a chance to get blocks on slashers. You'll have a chance to get blocks on anybody because of that height and that wingspan difference. But at the same time, if you have a super short player, your shot is going to be that much quicker and your speed is going to be that much quicker, which also makes you harder to guard offensively. So it's really up to you, but it's a win-win either way. Another thing to note, like I said earlier, like they're not supposed to be playmakers, but most of the passes that you need to make playing Park, you can make with your sharpshooter. You don't have to have playmaking all the way up or anything like that to make these simple passes to lead your guys into the paint. It's very simple. A lot of the clips in the video is kind of not just like me shooting threes, but also me shooting mids, me driving, me doing a bunch of stuff with a sharp. There's a bunch of different ways you can score with a sharpshooter. It's not just about, oh, just come off the screens and shoot your three. Nah, you gotta do other things. But anyway, let me get back on topic, because I'm getting a little off topic. But yeah, their defense, like I said earlier, defense isn't the best, but you'll still have a chance to get steals. The only thing is, I mean, if they get that, if your guys already if you're trash at defense, then you're probably not going to get any. Another thing, like I said before, if you get that first step on somebody and you're going into the paint, and you can take the ball inside and you can lay it up, you can dunk it if you can, but if you do have that first step, like most of the time you can take it in. And there's a bunch of different ways I'm scoring and being effective for my team, because you don't have to be the scorer, especially if they're already focused on you and they know that you're gonna make your shots. They're gonna guard you, and they're gonna give you a lot of openings for your teammates, which also makes you that much more deadly. That's why I think the sharpshooter position is just so OP, because if you're not being guarded, you can bang threes, and if you're being guarded, you can dish it to somebody else and they can score. It pretty much just lets them know that you can play any position. Basically, it's back cut, and it's that simple with a sharp. It really opens up the floor for everybody else when you're consistently making your shots, because they're gonna end up trying to guard you. Now let's go over the weaknesses of a sharp. If this is for like a guy who's like just getting into being a sharpshooter, doesn't really have all of these badges, doesn't really dribble, doesn't do that much. This is for like the basic sharp. who hasn't had time to really get into it. They're gonna need to learn how to run off screens. If the defense is good, you're gonna need to run off screens. Your sharp is not gonna be fast, but they're gonna need to run off screens, because if the defense is good and they know how to play your sharpshooter, then most of the time they're gonna double you. They're gonna be all up in your grill, and you're not gonna be able to shake them, especially if you're going against like a lockdown defender or somebody like that. You're gonna have to learn how to run off screens. You're gonna have to learn how to move the ball with your sharp. And another weakness, like, you could have all sharps on your team. That seems good, right? Because I'm just saying they're like the most OP player. But you're gonna need teammates who can screen. You're gonna need teammates who can move quick and move the ball quickly. But with all sharps, especially if you're playing with randoms, everybody's just gonna be looking to shoot a 3, and you guys aren't gonna get anywhere, because all the defense is gonna do is guard one of you, and you're not gonna be quick enough to get around, and then it's just a big mess if you're playing with randoms and you guys are all sharps. Trust me, I've played with a bunch of randoms. They're all sharpshooters, and I'm trying to move the ball, and they're all trying to just bomb 3s. But they're not me. No sir. They're not a decent sharp, and it's just ugly. It's just an ugly mess. Most of the weaknesses are due to the actual player themselves, like the person controlling the sharpshooter. Because if you have low IQ and experience, like I was saying earlier, if you have low IQ and not that much experience playing as a sharp, then your success of a sharp is gonna relate, and it's gonna show that you don't know what you're doing. Like, for an example would be like earlier, how you seen me driving in the lane. If I'm not that experienced, I'm gonna lay it up. I'm gonna just press square and hope that they don't cap the shit out of me. But if I know they're gonna block me, then most of the time I'm gonna pump. They're gonna jump, and then I'm gonna shoot it, and most likely make it in. That's just one of the things you pick up the more you play, but a lot of you already know that. Badges as well obviously play a big role in the success of a sharp, so I'm not really gonna go into that. But what I would recommend is getting your Hall of Fame badges. Like, limitless range is so overpowered in this game because it lets you literally shoot from anywhere. Mid-range Deadeye, long-range Deadeye, corner specialist, all of those badges, try to get them to Hall of Fame because they really help out, and they make you that much more deadlier, obviously. And then from there, however you want to play your sharp, I would suggest getting those type of badges. Like, if you wanna drive, try to get acrobat. If you want to get like tireless scorer, that kind of stuff, you would grind for those. And oh yeah, shout out to my lockdown defender. If you've seen this in the video, you'll see some of his plays. The dude with the satin pants, it's crazy how good he is as a lockdown. Shout out to my bro, a 49er fan. Well, let's talk about the next game, because this game is already coming to an end. It's getting pretty close. So let's get into what I would hope for in 2K18. I know all of us are excited for it. I know all of us hope that it's not as crazy as this game was, because this game pretty much seemed like a test dummy for 2K18. But let's just hope. Let's hope. I have faith in Ronnie that their servers will get better and all of this stuff. But for 2K18, regarding specifically this archetype or this archetype system, I would either beef up other archetypes or decrease some stats of the sharp, because like I said, they can do pretty much a lot of different things for a sharpshooter that's supposed to specify in banging shots from deep, rather than being able to dribble, being able to move the ball, being able to do all of this other stuff. So an example would be, like, just because he can shoot from anywhere, it doesn't necessarily mean that he should be able to almost out dribble a playmaker. He shouldn't be able to dribble around people like how I'm dribbling around these guys. And I mean, maybe their defense is just trash, and that's why I'm being able to do this for so long, but it just doesn't make sense to me. Because you already have archetypes that can take ankles, you already have archetypes that can do that, so why even have a dribble stat so decent? Another thing would be, if he's gonna be a sharpshooter, if you're gonna have like different archetypes, then make it like that. Then don't like I said before, don't make it like an all-around thing. If you're gonna have an archetype, make sure that they can specifically do what the archetype is meant for them to do. Like if he's gonna be a sharp, the only way he should be able to score is from catching and shooting, or coming off a screen, like how most people would actually use a sharpshooter. Come off a screen, catch and shoot. That should be one of the only ways this sharpshooter could score. Other than that, it should be an at least like a decreased chance of him making it from like dribbling or off the dribble, or making it from. And you see like my badges go off. That's another thing too, what I meant with the badges. But if he's going in for a layup, he shouldn't have that big of a chance to make it. Like, it's just ridiculous how easy it is to score. Or maybe even if you're not going to do that, then up the shooting of other archetypes. Because like for example, I have a point forward on my other player, and he's a 94 rated point forward, and he still has trouble banging like mid-range wide open shots, and it doesn't make any sense to me, because his mid and his other stuff are pretty up there. But anyway, everyone has their own opinions, and like I've seen and like you've seen in this video, there's some highlights of a lockdown defender that can dominate a game, and every person has their favorite archetype, but this is just mine. And I've seen like glass cleaners who can seamlessly always score, and it's crazy because they can hit wherever. But it's really up to 2K to try to make these archetypes more true to what they are supposed to be and how they are supposed to be played. But with that, man, that's the end of the video. I just want to thank y'all for tuning in. Thank y'all for watching. If you guys see me on the park, hit your boy up. Let's run. This is your boy Joe, and I'm out.